the women in the room sometimes experience leadership differently, in that men's careers are more linear. Women's are categorised by interruptions and exits. Our executive women sometimes experience depression at a rate double that of our male colleagues due to work, and 3 times more likely to experience anxiety and stress from work. But you've been regarded as an advocate for gender equity. So I just wanted to know if there was one thing that we could implement or champion that better supports women to balance their professional responsibilities. I've probably got 3 people on the job this afternoon picking up my kids. The health of the women that you're now leading, what would you like to do for them or say to them about how we go about looking after ourselves so we can perform better, take those opportunities and back ourselves in just that bit more?
So I'm not even going to pretend to give advice to my female colleagues. Maybe this is more advice to my male colleagues. I don't... We've got so much work to do in this area. It's not funny, and I don't have a particularly good answer on how we're going to remedy the disparity. I'm just mindful that I sort of observed my wife Tamara, who is a very talented teacher with 3 daughters, arguably a 4th child that she has to manage, and she's just extraordinary. But the sorts of impulse that the work environment places on her, and the lack of flexibility about her being able to, get to work, collect children, do all the other things that are required. I just don't think and I'm talking about something that's she doesn't work within the state system. It just makes it really, really tough. So my observation of her is, why are we getting in the way of such a talented person doing their role? So the only advice I would provide is, I have only ever seen, no, take this back, it will get me in trouble. There are so many talented women doing excellent things who might need heightened levels of flexibility, and we should be providing that. And you'll be rewarded accordingly, and often in spades. And so that would be the only suggestion. There are a whole bunch of other things, and there's many layers to this. Like you were talking before about, how did you jump into some of those SES roles? You put it more eloquently. I observe this all the time. People like me, classic middle-aged white guy with high levels of bravado, that believes he can do anything, when in fact there are so many much more talented women around the place who, and I observe this, pardon me, unless they're able to demonstrate that I can meet that part of the selection criteria on that job, or in fact most of it I'm not going to apply, whereas characters like me, of course I could do this.
Yep.
Of course Premier Malinowskis, I'll come down and run the South Australian Public Service. And so there is something also about how do we encourage our female colleagues to not take on this sort of bravado, probably something a little better, but we need to encourage our colleagues to take on some of these different and alternate roles, because we've got much more work to do in this space. But anyway, I hope that's helpful.